what are we doing? We're live reviewing this guy's deal.
Recording?
Coming. Of
Oh,
course she's
perfect.
recording. She's always recording. We're looking at your deal. It's coming up. Fresh eyes. I've never seen this thing.
It's a good deal.
So
Some would say,
I guess
some would say
we're gonna
the best deal.
Oh, gross. We're going to figure it out if it's the best deal or not. So how do I do this first? I guess we're just going to walk through it. Lead the way. Where's the property? 1262 Lansdowne. I know it's on a major street. Lansdowne is huge. Could be really far south, could be really far north, who knows? What I do see here, though, when I look it up, though, it's right by Earls Court Park. Joseph Piccinini, the community center. There's actually a lot of good amenities in this area. And even though Lansdowne's a busier street, as a whole, this section of Lansdowne I know is actually quite quiet, and we're pretty close to St. Clair, one of the better parts of St. Clair. So location-wise, I like quite a bit. We also have laneway access I'm seeing when I look at the map. Does look a little bit far from a fire rating perspective to do the laneway build. I don't know if there's side yard access or not.
So we do have a potential, yes, on a garden sweep, on a laneway house build. It would be very small, around 500, 600 square feet.
Okay. So
very small, and it depends on the space between the two homes. Yeah, the potential is there. I wouldn't purchase this thinking that you can build one, though.
Gravy if it happens.
Exactly.
But we're working with otherwise a pretty turnkey 3-unit property here. I have
parking in the back. There is a one car garage in the back. The garage doesn't go the full lot size, the width. Yeah. It's a little bit smaller. So if you ever wanted to, you could build a bigger garage or take away that garage and have 1.5 spots maybe in the back there.
Okay. Parking's nice. Covered parking is better. I see the old photos. They're not in the best shape in the world, but it's not terrible. What's happened since they purchased this property? Has it been renovated?
Yes. So they did quite extensive renovation on it. So 3 new units. I would say they were mostly renovated. Some is original, new kitchens, new washrooms, stuff like that, some new flooring. So most of it is up to date. The basement's totally new. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty nice inside.
Okay. So turnkey. Yeah. It's been updated.
Not 100%, but not like new, modern everything, but clean,
livable,
no quartz countertops, nice stuff there.
Perfect. Okay, that's what we're looking for. Let's talk about the numbers then. Rents, purchase price. The next 2 big things I'd be curious about. What are you looking for? What's the seller looking for?
So it was purchased for $1 million a few years ago, and it needed a lot of work. A lot of work was done to it to bring it up to date. The rents are really strong. I'll let you go through those rents, but they're very strong. They're at market rents. So all the tenants have been vetted. They all pay on time. Everything is going pretty well at the property. Right now, we are looking for $1.2 million.
Okay.
So
let's do some numbers.
Very reasonable.
Unit sizes. Let me stress test these rents first. Upstairs looks like a 2-bed.
Yeah, 2-bed with a
proper 2-bed living room. Excellent.
And a balcony overlooking the park in the back. It's a really nice unit.
Really nice.
Yeah.
Main floor, 1-bed.
1-bed.
Proper 1-bed living room, good space.
Yeah, good space.
So you got 27 upstairs. Seems pretty reasonable, pretty market.
2.5 story home. Yeah. So one of the bedrooms is on the half story up there. So yeah,
that's a good call. I know from experience that makes a lot of space for those units. So that actually tells me maybe this rent is even a touch low and has a little bit of room to go up. Probably not crazy, but it's priced well for the space. 23 on the main floor. I'm assuming that's pretty nice. 23 of these.
It's a spacious apartment. Like they're good sized rooms, good sized living room. It's a big kitchen. So yeah, it's pretty nice.
They've been in there for a while?
A couple years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that maybe has come down a tiny bit since, but that would probably wash with the upstairs anyways.
Now, the big thing about this location is the park. Yeah. Everybody who comes in, they love having it as in their backyard, right? You just walk out the backyard, you're in Earls Court Park. So it's really nice.
That's nice. That is right over there.
Laneway, yeah.
And I know from experience and like leasing in the area and everything that is a huge draw to the area. All the community services, the leagues, the sports leagues and things for people. It is really nice to have. And then I see we've got 1-bed basement. Is it tall?
It's not the tallest ceiling height.
Okay.
But there are, does it say 1-bed? It
does say 1-bed. Is it bigger?
I believe it's a 2-bed.
Okay.
Yeah.
This makes more sense. Not like number
one plus then 2.
Yeah. So like a big 1, small 2, something like that at $1,900 for the basement. Again, makes sense. $100 for the parking. Sure. So all that included, assuming a 1-2 purchase price, my next question for a turnkey property is cash flow. And it looks like we're about $1,500 a month, just shy of 6% cap rate out of the gate. I like these numbers. These numbers look good for a turnkey deal. 3 units, good spot, maybe some future value add potential, who knows? But just as far as like a turnkey cash flow positive deal goes, this is strong. How are the tenants? Like as far as they pay on time?
Pay on time.
There's no issues.
Property. Yeah, it rents out pretty, I would say, easily as well.
Yeah.
We haven't had any issues renting out the property. Some have been there for a while. It's pretty stable. Everything's stable here. And the biggest thing I want to highlight is when you're buying a turnkey property, typically they don't cash flow this high, but you usually buy one, let's say it's vacant, right? You still have to pay leasing fees. So that's another $6,000-8,000. That's going to be a cost to you and some touch-ups. This one is totally ready to go. It's plug and play. You buy this on closing date, you start collecting.
Yeah, that's
cash
good.
flow.
It also means it's going to sit vacant for a period of time, right? So you're going to burn some mortgage during that period while it's sitting vacant before you lease it up. Pros and cons, right? Because sometimes there's a bit of a new sheriff in town pushback from tenants, so it's nice to have the ability to set your own rents. Maybe the rents are higher or lower, but in this case, the rents are really strong. The tenant profile is good, and I can just move in, like just buy it, not move in, and just cash flow from day one. As far as the capital goes, turnkey deals almost always are going to be lower capital requirement. Here at $1.2 million with closing costs, we're looking at about $280,000 as far as capital required to do the deal. And then again, you get in, you're cash flowing from day one, you set it and forget it. Maybe you look at refinancing it down the road once the market's picked up a little bit, and you still have some room there. Or you take on your construction project with that ADU. But $280,000 in for cash flow, $1,500 a month out the gate is quite strong. And then we have, in most deals, let's say when your clients purchase this property, for example, they would have been in the position where they bought it for $1 million-ish. Yeah. They're renovating it for $150,000 to $200,000-ish, which then puts you at, if you bought it for $1 million, you're $200,000 down plus your closing costs. You're pretty similar as far as total capital required to get into the deal to this $280,000 now, just to close, and then you've got your renovation on top of that, right? So you're going to be
you're spending much more to do a project like that. Now, that's why we're in this like little blip in the market now for the last 6, maybe 12 months, where there has been turnkey opportunities that have been really strong, like this one, where you can cash flow very heavily and not have to put any work done. When I say turnkey property, I typically still tell my clients to have some renovation budget. Now, these are tenanted, so there's nothing massive in the units that you'll be doing anytime soon until they leave. Yeah. But always have something in case you have to do some minor touch-ups outside, maybe patch up a roof. I'm not saying this property needs that, but always keep another 10, 15K just in the back pocket just in case.
Yeah, always. It's good. Cash flows, we talked about. The income, the payments, we talked about. Risks. What's the risk profile of something like this? First question, especially in a market like this, prices and rents falling lower. What happens if rents fall lower? Can I cash flow? We've got a nice buffer here. We're at $1,500 a month.
Yeah.
We can almost have one of the smaller units can sit vacant almost entirely, and we can still be neutral territory. So if we lost a couple $100 more on each of these units, I don't love it, but I'm not stressed, right? I've got the space to weather that, which is huge in turnkey deals that usually would have a smaller cash flow margin. And prices, same theory. Can I hold? Does it cash flow? Can I hold? If those two things are true, I don't really mind if prices fall more. It's not, again, not great, but the market is the market, and we just buy the best deals that we can at the time. This would weather that as well because it can carry itself. It's more of a set it and forget it type of property. You just revisit it once the market's picked back up if you're worried about prices falling. Liquidity, tenant profile we talked about. Location we talked about. Liquidity is the next question. What happens if you do need to sell it? These triplex or 3-unit, multi-unit type of properties are a little bit tougher to sell, especially when they're occupied with tenants. So it's certainly not going to be as easy to move as a vacant end user type of property, maybe something with a basement apartment. But at the same time, you can hold it, so you've got the time to wait as far as liquidity goes. And the rents are good. The rents are
the big pushback there is usually these tenanted properties are half of market rent. Like they're really low. So day one, you're going in super negative. This one, you're going in at market rents, very positive. So it's a little bit of a different scenario. That's why I don't believe it'll be as hard as other opportunities out there. As long as you have the rents that are at market, typically there is an investor that this is the most set and forget type of property. You don't even have to lease it. You just buy it and you're good.
Yeah.
Manage it ongoing and you're fine.
Yeah. Comparing to the other multi-unit properties with tenants, let's just categorize that together. The 3-unit properties that have tenants in them, this is probably the best position to actually have the buyer interest because it's already set exactly how you're going to want to set it as the end buyer in this case. Maybe one other category of a buyer might be that house hacker profile. Are these units on, I guess they're all month-to-month leases at this point?
2 of them are month to month. One is just approaching the year end, and it's going to be month to month, like
Gotcha.
anytime now. So yeah.
Cool. Okay. So if an end user wants to buy this place, move into that top unit, let's say it's a great couple unit, work from home kind of thing. They've got the garage, it's on the park. This is actually quite a nice family spot, or at least like young couple spot, starting family spot. So this could be good for the house hacker, knowing that they can move in and flip that unit to their own is a nice benefit.
Yeah, there's only a handful of properties that actually do back on this park. So that's not going anywhere. You're always going to have the property that's back on this park. And for an end user at some point, especially young couple, young family, like you said, it's really nice. Actually, when this was listed 3 years ago, 4 years ago, originally, whatever it was, this close to buying it. I just wasn't ready at the time. If it was 6 months later, I would be owning this house right now.
As far as transit goes, why don't you tell me what's around the area?
Yeah, it's like a 30-second walk to the St. Clair streetcar, which is great. Takes you to St. Clair West Station. It's pretty reliable. I personally use it all the time. I live in the neighborhoods. I love it. There's a Lansdowne bus. It's very walkable. That's the big thing of this neighborhood is you can walk to all the cafes, restaurants, obviously the park within minutes. It's really accessible to those things. There's a grocery store that's just down the street as well. Everything you really need is within walking distance, and that's what the tenants in this area really do enjoy. I don't believe any of them right now have a car. Maybe one of them has a car, but it's very easy to walk everywhere, which is, for me, very important. Final verdict?
Final verdict is good. I like it a lot for the turnkey buyer, the set it and forget it buyer. Somebody who wants to go in and do a huge renovation and add some value. It's obviously not going to be maybe the right fit for them, but anybody who wants a strong cash flow, decent tenant profile, good location, triplex, it will just consistently cash flow, pretty easy to consistently find renters. It's a good property. I like it.
It's a good deal.